Hello, in this video we're going to have a look at perimeter and how we work out the perimeter of a shape. So perimeter, the definition is the length around the outside of a shape. Now if we think back to dimensions, we've got length being the first dimension and there's only one dimension in it, so all we need to do to find out the length around the outside of a shape based on that is to add up the length of the edges of the shape. So let's get straight into an example. If we have a look at a uniform shape, let's just take a square for example. Easy for a square. We've got, let's say, 3 centimeters, and because it's a square, every single side is going to be 3 centimeters. Think back to the definition. It's going to be the length around the outside edge of a shape, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides at 3 centimeters. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You're going to want 3, add 3, add 3, add 3. So that gives you 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, centimeters. So that's one way of working out the perimeter. Add them all together. Because it's a square, just in case you're wondering what the other method is, we've got 4 lots of 3. It's just a variation of working this out. So you could do 3 lots of 4, which would give you 12 centimeters as well. So the perimeter of this shape, the length all the way around the edge, is 12 centimeters. If I just put another word on there as well, I sometimes think of the word fence. Perimeter, I relate to the word fence. If you were thinking about this as a little bit of a garden, you'd want to work out the perimeter for the length of fence that you needed to buy. So you need a length of fence to go around the edge, just here. There we go. So I just think of fence. It's just a visualization kind of thing. So let's move on to another example then. Let's say we've got a rectangle. And let's say that's 4 meters by 1 meter. We can have a bit of a guess at what this line's going to be just here. If it's a rectangle, this length's going to be the same as this length, so this is also going to be 4 meters. And this length's going to be the same as this length, which is also going to be 1 meter. So we've got all the dimensions on there. So definition of perimeter again, it's the length all the way around the outside edge of a shape, so we need to add all these together. So we're going to have 4, add 1, add 4, add 1. And if we add those together we get 5 and we get 10 meters. Again, if you think about if you were going to buy the fence, you'd need 10 meter length of fence to go around the edge just there. And that's how I try and visualize it. Pretty straightforward so far, just remembering the definition of perimeter. Length all the way around the outside edge. So let's do another shape while we're on it, just to show that it can be worked out for all different kinds of shape and the definition stays exactly the same. Let's say we've got a triangle. So we can think of it as a garden again, and we want to fence all the way around the edge of the garden, just there. But we've got a triangular shaped garden this time. A bit unusual, but it could happen. So let's say we had a 3 meter long side just there, and we've got a 3 meter long side just there. And then across there, let's say that's 4 meters. And I want to fence all the way around this garden. I want to fence it off. We want the perimeter, the length all the way around the edge of the garden, so we're going to add up all the length of the sides. We've got 3, let me take that off there, add 3, add 4. And that's going to give us 10 meters again. So the perimeter around the outside edge of this garden is 10 meters. just there. So I'm just going to give you one more example that you may be able to come across in an assessment at some point, and that's compound shapes. So shapes made up of other shapes. So let's think about this kind of shape here. So let's say we've got a garden again, but it's not a rectangle, it's a rectangle made up of other rectangles. So we've got a bit missing just here. Let's label this up. So I've got 10 meters. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And let's say that's 20 meters. Say this one is 8 meters. And let's say that one's 5 meters just there. So if this is a rectangle, you may face this kind of question in an assessment where they don't give you all the dimensions. So it's just a case of visualizing what these missing dimensions are. So if this length here is 10 meters and we take 5 meters from it, that should give us what this little bit is left here, which is going to be 5 meters. So that's 5 meters. And if this bit's 20 all the way across the bottom, and we take 8 meters away from it, it's going to leave us with 12 meters. So this bit is 12 meters long just there. So again, definition of perimeter is going to be the length all the way around the outside edge of the shape. So we're going to add up the length of all these parts around the outside edge. So let's say we had 20, 10, 8, 5, 12, and 5. That's all our measurements just there. We're going to do an addition to add up all these. So we've got 8 add 2, that's 10. And we've got 5 add 5, that makes it 20. So we're going to put the 0 in and carry the 2. And then we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just there, which makes that 60 meters all the way around the outside edge of that garden. And it's as simple as that. We're adding up the length around the outside edge of a shape.